Live from our community. News Channel 13 Live at 6 starts right now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Mulholland. Tonight, Dennis Drew, the man whose drunken driving on the Northway caused the death of two area teenagers more than a decade ago, is a free man once again. The judge's decision today to free him was not a popular one at the Saratoga County Courthouse. Dan Levy was in the courtroom, and he's now back in our studio with details. Dan, good evening to you.
Good evening, Mark. Not only did Saratoga County DA Karen Hagan respectfully disagree with Judge Lorraine Diamond's decision, she said she was disappointed and heartbroken. If nothing else, Dennis Drew is a notorious enigma in the Capital Region, convicted of the drunk driving crash that killed Christopher Stewart and Deanna Rivers more than a decade ago and released from prison in 2023. He was picked up on a parole violation in April and then sent back to jail. Today, despite admitting that he was driving a car without an ignition interlock device, Judge Lorraine Diamond decided Drew has been locked up long enough.
I guess it's still not over. You know, he's still on parole right now, and I wouldn't think that there's any question that, he could be before a judge in no time at all again while he's still under parole.
I continue to have concern as it relates to the safety of our community because of his total disregard as it relates to the rule of law.
Dennis Drew will remain on parole through November 2028. Karen Hagan says the judge's decision cannot be appealed. Mark?
Dan, thank you very much. Some breaking news just into our newsroom. The man arrested in connection with the shooting at the Cafe Hollywood bar in Albany now faces additional charges related to a homicide investigation. At 4, we told you Malachi Davis was charged with attempted murder and criminal possession of a weapon for a shooting that left a man injured at Cafe Hollywood back in November. New at 6, Davis is charged with 1 count of arson and 1 count of conspiracy after Albany police say he was part of a group that set a victim's vehicle on fire. That victim, Jameer Allen, was found dead in the woods off Bonow Street back in March. Allen was shot in the head and body. To clarify, Malachi Davis is not charged in Allen's death, merely setting the victim's car on fire. Albany police have also arrested 20-year-old Jason Guerrero and charged him with murder and arson. 22-year-old Anarian Bass and a 16-year-old are also charged with arson and conspiracy. This is a developing story. We'll let you know more as soon as we know more. Police in Schenectady say a loaded handgun was found inside a student's bag at the high school today. The student has been identified as 18-year-old Laura LaPointe. She's been charged with criminal possession of a weapon, a felony. The gun triggered a metal detector around noon, and the school ordered everyone to stay in place. The high school recently installed an advanced security system there because of threats of violence and a series of fights that occurred late last year. New tonight, 2 Albany police officers were allegedly assaulted while responding to a domestic call. It happened last night at a home on Livingston Avenue. Officers say 2 brothers were fighting, and when they tried to separate them, several other family members intervened. One officer says they were bitten. Another claims they were punched in the face. And all 4 people were arrested: Joseph Allen, Felicia Allen, Amy Allen, and a 17-year-old whose name has not been released because of their age. All 4 were arraigned and released. Also new tonight, a Troy man has pleaded guilty to vehicular homicide in a deadly crash last June. Everett Hatley, who was 18 at the time, was in court today where he pled guilty to aggravated vehicular homicide. Hatley admitted to driving a car while under the influence of marijuana, causing the death of his 14-year-old passenger here, Kiera Ebert, and seriously injuring another teenager in the car on Fonda Road in Waterford last summer. He was driving too fast when he left the road and went airborne, crashing through several utility poles. Hatley faces between 5 and 15 years in prison when he's sentenced in August. New at 6, the USA gas station in the town of Ballston, where there was a huge fire last Friday, is now back open. The owner tells our Dan Levy that the store and the gas pumps are open and operating as of today. This comes after investigators updated us this week, saying preliminary findings show gasoline was inadvertently spilled onto the ground and then ignited. The fire caused extensive damage to the gas pumps and 2 vehicles, but 1 week later, as you can see, they are back in business. You may see protesters out this weekend for what they're calling No Kings Day. This is a national movement with protests planned in almost every state, including right here. The protests set to take place to counter President Donald Trump's plans to mark Flag Day this Saturday, as well as the Army's 250th anniversary and the president's 79th birthday, all falling on the same day. Why is it called No Kings? Well, it's named that after some of Trump's comments comparing himself to a king. Organizers say they're fighting back against authoritarianism. This follows a week of protests across the country in opposition to federal immigration raids. There are protests planned tomorrow in communities across the region, including Ballston Spa, Colony, Guilderland, Warrensburg, and Saratoga Springs, where 1,000 protesters are expected to rally during the city's annual Flag Day parade. Well, it's official. The Belmont Stakes is returning for a 3rd and final time to Saratoga Racecourse in 2026. Now, we first reported last month this year's running of the Belmont would not be the last. And today, Naira and New York Governor Kathy Hochul confirmed what we reported in May. Saratoga Springs Mayor John Safford says Spa City leaders are excited to welcome an additional year of Belmont racing to Saratoga.
It's been a great 2 years, and I'm excited for next year. I'm hoping that we're going to have sunshine, maybe not so much rain, which was a little bit tricky this year. But yes, we love being the host.
Belmont Park on Long Island is expected to reopen in September of 2026 after 2 years of renovation. The final Belmont at Saratoga will be Saturday, June 6th, 2026. Well, tomorrow, of course, is Flag Day. It's a day when we show honor and respect to the American flag and the values it represents. If you'd like to celebrate, you have several chances. The annual Flag Day Parade in Hudson is a big one. The 30th annual celebration kicks off at noon at the Henry Hudson Riverfront Park. A Flag Day Parade will also be held tomorrow morning on State Street in Albany. And the 56th annual Elks Club Flag Day Parade in Saratoga Springs will be heading south on Broadway to Congress Park. That starts at noon tomorrow. And new at 6, free steak dinners for first responders. In a salute to the men and women who serve and protect, the War Room Tavern in Albany is hosting a Father's Day steak and barbecue celebration on Sunday. Free steak dinners will be offered to members of law enforcement, active military, veterans, EMTs, and firefighters who are also dads. The War Room Tavern says this annual event is more than just a meal. It's a moment to honor everyday heroes who put their lives on the line to protect others. Beautiful day out there as far as we've seen.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just not raining. How about, like, put it that way? Right?
Yes.
Exactly. It was nice. I mean, it made it to 70, 71 in a lot of places, so a little below normal temperature-wise. And we had some filtered sun, some clouds mixing in, but it was dry.
Yeah,
so
and we'll take that.
It was nice, right? And that's the way it's going to stay right on into the weekend. So perhaps it's a Friday, go grab a cone, right? Maybe some part of your weekend kickoff here as we look at temperatures sliding back into the 60s. So you can take your time, not that heat and humidity that'll melt off that cone too quickly, so we can enjoy it slowly but surely. And you can see that sun coming through out here in Amsterdam on the CDPHP first warning cam, where it is 68 degrees. It's 71 right now in Albany, Kinderhook at 72. A lot of 60s showing up across our region, including Cobleskill and Johnstown, Grafton and Bennington. And look at Glens Falls, only 61, a little chilly with thicker clouds. Now, no showers on the first warning live Doppler. We had some moisture build up, some darker clouds from time to time, and maybe a couple of us saw a quick sprinkle that would dot the windshield, but really that's about it. The bigger picture shows the extensive area of clouds that have been moving through from time to time, but enough sun to get us to that 70-degree mark, and then you could pick up some of the sprinkles on the radar as well. We have a couple of potent waves of low pressure heading in our direction. One's on its way out, so I think it'll be dry for a time. But you see the next one out here near Chicago and points south. That one will bring us a good chance of showers later tonight toward midnight. And then as the wave itself comes through, early tomorrow morning, a good chance of some rain to start the weekend. Then after that one goes by, the subsequent waves will just bring us a couple of weekend showers, both Saturday afternoon and Sunday, but I'm thinking mostly dry after Saturday morning. Notice temperatures 5, 6, 7 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. Glens Falls is even 17 degrees cooler with the thicker clouds out there. And with a cooler start to the evening, overnight tonight, we'll get down into the 50s. We're going to pick up that rain. And I think the best chance of rain will be the first few hours tomorrow morning. I think we'll dry out fairly quickly by lunchtime. And with some hints of sun, we'll make it back up toward that 70-degree mark. So the hour-by-hour forecast shows some showers building by midnight to 1 a.m., a good chance of showers overnight, and towards sunrise on Saturday. I don't think everyone's going to have rain all morning tomorrow, but the best chance for a steadier rain, Greene, Columbia, and Berkshire counties, with the best chance of drier weather in the North Country. After lunchtime, everyone dries out, and we'll even see more sunshine, especially to the north. Father's Day on Sunday, more clouds than sun, but not a whole lot of rain, maybe 1 or 2 passing showers. 56 tonight, showers moving in toward midnight, and some showers for the sunrise hour tomorrow. Even until about 9 or 10 a.m., then we dry out from north to south. 71 on Father's Day, an isolated shower, but again, nothing to cancel plans over. Monday looks good, 74. Then it's 80s for the rest of the week. A few showers and storms Tuesday, Wednesday. Best chance of more potent showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. Happy Father's Day.
80 is getting close to where we're supposed to be, right?
Exactly where we're supposed to be.
All right, happy Father's Day to you too,
Thank
Paul. Happy Father's Day to you. Let's take a look right now at I-87 southbound at exit 6 right now. There is some traffic building apparently on a Friday. No, there is a problem there, so be advised if you're headed out that way. There is some police activity, apparently a broken down vehicle there. That's it for this Friday. We'll be back on News Channel 13 live at 11. We'll have your news at 9 on My 4. Happy Father's Day, and thanks for sharing your time with us.
Have a great weekend.